What's going on, my fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A-Plus Morphinominal, your stop for your Power Rangers and Super Sentai review and news right here on our Facebook page, A-Plus Opinions. As always, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, your Morphinominal host, Adam Perez, back once again, ladies and gentlemen, as we're going to be getting into some crazy news from all across the world of Tokusatsu and Ranger Nation. We definitely have a pretty stacked show for you guys today, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to get into some really great topics. Listen, we've got some Illuminerdi articles here. Are the 5 original Rangers coming back for Dino Fury? We'll definitely go ahead and talk about that. We finally have ourselves an announcement for when Beast Morphers, the second half of season 2, is certainly going to return. And we're also going to be dabbling a little bit into some Boom Studios comics, as we actually have two reviews for you guys this week, guys, plus a ton more, guys. I'm telling you, it's definitely going to be a packed show. So certainly stick around, get your beverages, get your snacks. I certainly hope everybody's enjoying their Saturday afternoon. This is how we love to go ahead and kick off our weekend, ladies and gentlemen, by talking about some Power Rangers and Super Sentai stuff. But first thing of business, we have to get out of the way. Yesterday was, in fact, National Power Rangers Day, ladies and gentlemen. So I certainly hope each and every one of you celebrated, hopefully, the right way, whether that have been a Beast Morphers marathon you enjoyed, maybe some past seasons of Power Rangers, maybe some Power Ranger movies. Who certainly knows? But I definitely hope you enjoyed your National Power Rangers Day as of yesterday. And another bit of news that we have to talk about, A-Plus Morphinominal now officially has its own YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. A YouTube page has been opened for A-Plus Morphinominal. So if you guys want to go ahead and subscribe over there, feel free to go ahead and do so. It's pretty much just A-Plus Morphinominal. You can go ahead and search for it, APlus Morphinominal over on YouTube. Certainly go ahead and subscribe over there if you want to. We are not doing live on YouTube today, though, unfortunately. We literally just set up the channel maybe a couple of days ago. It's been so long since I had to actually set up a YouTube page that I guess a part of me got so spoiled by having access to so much stuff when it comes to YouTube, because we had been on there for such a long time, big subscriber base, big viewership. So everything was really available to us. But now kind of having to start over as A-Plus Morphinominal from sort of the ground up, a lot of those features on YouTube just aren't available to me. So yesterday, when I was trying to go ahead and set up the live stream for YouTube, it did let me know that there is a 24-hour sort of turnaround time. So I did activate my live streaming yesterday. So hopefully come Kiramager time at the beginning of this week, we should be able to go live on A-Plus Morphinominal's YouTube page, certainly going forward. So we'll definitely be streaming to you guys from YouTube, from Twitch, from Facebook as well, guys. So we will be certainly available everywhere. But if you guys do want to go ahead and at least subscribe to us on our YouTube page, again, it is A-Plus Morphinominal, as we did go ahead and just open it up. We have 3 videos up there right now. We did recently just talk about the Beast Morphers announcement date for when it was coming back. So that was one of the most brand new videos we uploaded. And then we uploaded some kind of throwback videos, if you will. The Liana Ramirez interview is up on our channel, along with our Hasbro and Toei split discussion that we wind up having back in July when the Illuminerdi article dropped. So all 3 of those articles, those videos are up on our YouTube page. So it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. Keeping our fingers crossed that A-Plus Morphinominal is as successful in its second phase as it was in its first phase. So I just want everybody to know here, in order for us to grow our Power Ranger and Super Sentai community again, because yes, we will have to grow it again. I'm definitely counting on each and every one of you guys to certainly like our videos, share our videos, and certainly comment, guys. The reason why we grew as much as we did is because of your help, guys. So spread the word about A-Plus Morphinominal, ladies and gentlemen, back on YouTube. So thank you very much, guys. I'm excited to go ahead and see what the next phase of this channel is certainly going to be. But don't worry, A-Plus opinions in general will still certainly be around. We'll probably focus more on Facebook and Twitch. Maybe here in the next couple of weeks, if I talk with Stuart and Indy, maybe we'll try and bring it back to YouTube also. Yeah, it certainly all goes together. It's all connected, as they would say, certainly when it comes to the MCU. So, guys, I think it's time that we go ahead and get into some articles. But real quick, let me see who's in the live chat with us today. We've got Anita in the house. Thank you very much, Anita, for certainly coming through. Matthew, what's up, buddy? Alec Forever Grin. I saw you went ahead and actually subscribed on the YouTube page, so thank you very much for that. Loyal, certainly in the house. Zachary's here as well today. Thank you very much, guys. Hello, mom. She says, Patreon. Yes, a Patreon is coming. Now that we do have APlus Morphinominal back on our YouTube page, there are in fact some little exclusives and a little bit of extra things that we definitely want to be able to offer you guys. This is something that we actually had planned to unveil, I guess you can say, prior to our channel sort of being copyright striked, if you will. So yes, the Patreon is certainly coming. If anything, we've had to reduce some of the tiers at least to kind of start off. Certainly don't want to overwhelm ourselves, but there definitely will be stuff on that Patreon, not only for APlus Opinions fans, but APlus Morphinominals as well, because we have Common Rider that's coming. Common Rider reviews are certainly going to be coming. I believe Stuart's going to be doing Common Rider Saber, which actually premieres next week, ladies and gentlemen. So you can definitely expect that to be on our Facebook page and YouTube page, certainly going forward, guys. So yeah, we got some, we definitely got some goodies for Patreon, and definitely will be explored and showcased to you guys here rather soon. And of course, we got Edward Sanchez Productions certainly making their presence known. So thank you very much for that. Let's see here. Loyal does say, good luck on regrowing APlus Morphinominal, yo. Hey, I appreciate that. I really do appreciate it, Loyal. Again, we only grow with your guys' support. So please continue to go ahead. Don't be afraid to like these videos, share these links, talk to your fans, your other friends and things like that about them, about this channel. We definitely appreciate your support. But ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start knocking out some of these articles here. You know, I actually had a whole entire plan. Hold on a second. Set up for this. Let me see if I can. I had a plan for how I wanted to present this, but considering that I can sometimes be rather forgetful, I did forget to go ahead and actually bring up this article the way that I wanted to. But okay, I think I got it now. So I think we should be good. Ladies and gentlemen, the first topic that I definitely want to go ahead and talk with you guys about today does come to us once again from the Illuminerdi. I know some of you guys certainly feel a certain type of way about that particular page. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong, but I try to tend to give them sort of the benefit of the doubt a little bit, or at least be open-minded to certain articles that they go ahead and drop for us. We are still kind of reeling from the whole Hasbro and Toei article from last month or the previous month sort of thing. I feel like there are some people, maybe more people, kind of coming around to that idea. So listen, I have no problem in being a little bit open-minded when it comes to certain Illuminerdi articles, especially when they surround a topic like Power Rangers. So this past week, ladies and gentlemen, we did have ourselves a rather interesting story. This comes to us directly from the Illuminerdi, letting us know here that Power Rangers Dino Fury to include original characters according to the Hasbro licensing info. The article itself says, according to some licensing information for Hasbro's Festival of Licensing in October, it seems that Power Rangers Dino Fury could feature the original characters from the first season of the show. This comes from the licensing source.net, and here's what it was listed for Power Rangers Dino Fury. It says, season 28 of Power Rangers will debut next year, with Power Rangers Dino Fury journeying back to the core roots of the brand. I'm assuming they're referencing to dinosaurs, with action being led by the original 5 Rangers. The article does go on to say, hey, this could obviously be, this is some crazy news for Power Ranger fans. It seems that Power Ranger Dino Fury could potentially be a reboot of the entire franchise as we know it. Now, the rest of the article really is speculation on their part. They go on to say something like this is to be completely honest here, I have absolutely no idea what to think of this news. So the rest of the article really is just sort of their speculation as to what they think this certainly means. But I do find it fascinating. Season 28 of Power Rangers will also debut next year, with Power Rangers Dino Fury journeying back to the core roots of the brand, with the action being led by the original 5 Rangers. You know, one of the things that we've talked about on this show in the past is really the idea of I've had people ask me about cameos. Do we see the potential of maybe some of the past Rangers, whether it be from other series, maybe joining in, or whatever the case may be? And one of the things that I've always have thought would probably work really well for Dino Fury is the return of some of our original MMPR cast, to be honest with you. I mean, listen, we've already seen, well, we haven't already seen, some of us have already seen the return of Austin St. John as Jason in this upcoming Dino crossover for Beast Morphers. We have also heard from David Yost himself in the past, and not just far past, but recent past here within the past couple of months, talking about the idea that he would return to Power Rangers if given the opportunity. He wouldn't want just a cameo. He would probably want a meaty role. I think he's even mentioned the idea that if he could come back as, say, as a mentor, he would be completely open to that idea. He even talked about the idea of getting around the union restrictions that I think a lot of us fans certainly worry about. He says that there's certainly a way that he can do that if he really wanted to be on Power Rangers again. So the possibility is certainly there when you explore this concept. You know, we are going to be focusing on dinosaurs once again. I do find it interesting here that the article mentions, or even from the licensing source, let's go directly to the licensing source if we can. Let me see if I can bring this up here. I might have to. Well, the licensing source says the same exact thing. Season 28. If anything, the idea of 5 original Rangers just throw me off, considering the fact that unfortunately, you know, Trini, the actress that played Trini, passed away years ago. So we really only have 4 original members for us to focus on, unless they're maybe including somebody like an Aisha, you know, bringing in somebody like a Karen Ashley, which I certainly wouldn't be opposed to whatsoever. I truly love Karen and what she's brought to the fandom, and just her charisma and her energy, to be quite honest with you. So if they wanted to go ahead and do something like that, I would be okay with it. But for me, I don't necessarily think that this is them rebooting the entire franchise as we know it. I think the article went on to further speculate the idea that maybe this was them recasting the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger team, and I just don't think that's the case, at least when it comes to the idea of recasting the original MMPR cast. Why? Because you got the original cast. You've got majority of them, right? When it comes to a series, if we dive a little bit deeper, if we go into, say, a series like Real Soldier that this show is being adapted from, one of the things that you'll notice is that there is a mentorship storyline in Real Soldier. Now, granted, the mentors in Real Soldier don't last very long, usually within the very first episode when it comes to Super Sentai Real Soldier, but they maybe tend to pop up throughout the season, maybe once or twice, sort of thing. For me, I like the concept and the idea of maybe bringing back some of these Rangers as mentors. I mean, listen, we've got Ko, who had his mentor. We had, which is a Red Ranger. We had Asuna as Pink. And then we had the Blue Ranger, who had his own mentor in Blue. But for me, considering the fact that we've already seen Austin, considering the fact that we've already seen the interest of David Yost wanting to come back, heck, let's throw Amy Jo Johnson in there also. Why don't we? I love the idea of, at least if you're going to try and do a mentorship role, maybe you could bring back some of the original characters. It may not be necessarily all 5 of them, but do we really need all 5? I like the idea of seeing some of the MMPR cast getting involved again, helping push Dino Fury forward. Would it bring eyes to this series? You better believe it certainly would. You better believe it certainly would. You know, the one thing about Power Rangers is that MMPR is their bread and butter. And I know for some people that's they're tired of it. Maybe some people want to move on from it. But the idea here is that MMPR sells. MMPR is what the general public knows Power Rangers to really be. Again, if you go up to a Power Ranger, somebody that's not a Power Ranger fan, and you ask them who the Power Rangers are, most notably, they're probably going to reference something when it comes to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all right? Like outside of our fandom, outside of our bubble, it's really MMPR that people remember Power Rangers as. So I think the idea of recasting would be detrimental. I don't think it would certainly make sense. I think if people want to see the MMPR cast, they're coming because they want to see MMPR. Not just because they want to see somebody brand new that has the name, Jason, Zach, Trini, Billy, Kimberly. No, they want to see those familiar faces that they remember. And one of the things that we've talked about here, when people have asked if I thought some of the original Power Rangers would pop up, I've mentioned the idea. I would love to see cameos. Like if they're not going to be in a mentorship role, kind of maybe do something like Gokaiger did. The idea of being able to introduce a past sort of Power Ranger Dino member in an episode or two, maybe sprinkle them out throughout the entire season. Who certainly knows? But I think there could be potential for something along these lines happening here. So when this article says that it's going to be led by the original 5 Rangers, I don't think that means the idea of our MMPR cast getting back into the suit and them being our team. I don't think that's a new cast of MMPR. I think if anything, this probably feels, when they say led by the original Rangers, it's probably the idea of them mentoring and pushing this new team and helping them really lead them into a new generation, if you will. So that's kind of what I'm kind of getting for this particular article here. Again, I know the article does state original 5 Rangers. I don't necessarily know if that's just a typo or if that's just a way of them acknowledging the fact that, yes, some original Rangers at least will in fact be returning. Because if you know Power Rangers, unfortunately, we can't have the original 5 here. But again, that doesn't certainly mean that maybe Ashley certainly isn't in there. You know what I mean? Or I should say Karen Ashley, who played Aisha. And I will say this, I don't know what the storyline is going to be for Dino Fury. I don't know exactly how much of Real Soldier they're going to be including in here, right? We have seen, when it comes to Real Soldier, them utilize the idea of flashbacks really well. We've seen what things like the Real Soul Tribe, some of the wars that they've had to go through, right? Like what some of these masters and these mentors, some of the battles that they have certainly had to fight. I would be really fascinated to see if they kind of adapt that storyline here, yet utilizing our particular Power Rangers. Maybe there's a reason why we don't have all 5 Rangers back. I don't know. That's just me simply speculating at this particular point in time. But I do see the potential there. Real Soldier did have mentors for their Rangers. Massively underutilized, if you ask me, with the exception of maybe one of them in Master Black and maybe the importance of Master Green. I did like how they were at least utilized, but I felt like it was a concept and the idea that they shortchanged themselves very early on in the season, and it's something that I would have liked to have seen these masters stay around for, to kind of help this team grow. So there is a mentorship and a master concept in Real Soldier that could be adapted into Power Rangers. Whether or not that's what they utilize, I don't really know. But considering the fact the Illuminerdi is basing this information off of what Hasbro is certainly saying in their licensing information, I'll be fascinated. Now, it does say here that they have a upcoming Hasbro's Festival of Licensing in October. I'm actually starting to wonder if that's when they're going to be announcing the brand new team. Considering the fact that it seems as though, let me see if I can go to this article here real quick. Let's look at this briefly, guys. I want to see exactly what this article is talking about here. So this is the licensingsource.net. This is where Illuminerdi got their information from. So it says Hasbro outlines Festival of licensing ambitions. Licensor planning to present opportunities across his portfolio. Hasbro has unveiled its slate for October's Festival of Licensing, with entertainment company presenting opportunities right the way across its portfolio. So I'm wondering if this is something that they're going. I don't know if this is going to be like a convention or like a I don't know what type of festival this is. So I'm wondering if we're going to be getting some announcements out of this when it comes in October. But this is exactly where they wind up getting that key piece of information from. So that's their source, guys. That's their source for that. But I'm kind of curious to know what you guys think in regards to all this. Do you think that this is a potential? Do you think that it would be originally all 5 members? Do you think that maybe this is just a representation of maybe not all 5, but we will get some original Rangers? I'm kind of curious to know who you guys would like to see. And do you like that idea and concept of these Rangers being sort of a mentorship and teaching these Rangers the ways of the morphing grid, if you will? I'll be fascinated. Listen, I think that this could be potentially really fantastic, guys. I really do when it comes to Dino Fury. I think the upswell for the anxiousness and the excitement for this series has grown, especially for a lot of people that have seen the leaked footage for the second half of the season. I'm still waiting, clearly, as you can see, but I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully Hasbro has something spectacular under their belt, and I'm hoping that includes our original Rangers. So we'll definitely go ahead and see, ladies and gentlemen. But at the end of the day, I want to know your thoughts in regards to this. So let your thoughts be known in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. We actually don't have a since I don't have a community tab either on my YouTube page as of right now. Again, I've really been spoiled when we had APlus opinions on YouTube, just the access to everything, honestly. Now that unfortunately that's gone away, I don't even have a community tab yet to go ahead and post stuff on our YouTube page for people to submit questions in. So feel free to definitely go ahead and put your questions in the comment section. I'll try and get to as many of them as I possibly can by the end of this show. Let me see what some of you guys are saying, though, just to kind of touch on a little bit of these, especially when it comes to this article. Jonas says, no way all the original Rangers return. Yeah, it's possible that they certainly don't. You know, for me, if I was Hasbro, I would certainly take this opportunity to try and get as many as I could. Definitely the big 3 probably being Austin, David, and Amy. If I had to guess who I would try and pick to be on the show, it would probably be those 3. I'd be interested to see what the develop. Like, I would be curious to see if Karen or a Walter would even be up for that idea. Alex says, I know everyone is skeptical about the main host of Illuminerdi is the main host of that hashtag show. I don't know how that show is doing, but I'm still taking it with a grain of salt. But Power Rangers are always full of surprises. And I think when it comes to Hasbro, I would be interested to see if they're going to be that type of company that's going to be full of surprises. So we'll definitely have to see. You know, when it comes to Joe from that hashtag show and the Illuminerdi, he's definitely somebody that I've coming around to trusting a little bit more after I have seen some of their articles. After I've seen some of their articles actually ring true, not all the time, but certainly sometimes. Jessica Friedman asks, has the cast been announced for Dino Fury? No, as of right now, it has not, to be quite honest with you. I know some people were kind of hoping for that. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Matthew does say, I think it could bring in great potential for Dino Fury. Possibly, maybe they could explain their whole Trini situation. Maybe why there's no yellow Rio soldier. And that's definitely possible. That's definitely possible, Matthew. You know, maybe they bring up the fate of the Yellow Ranger in Dino Fury. Maybe we actually have some sort of canon material where they explain what happened to Trini. It would certainly. I kind of like that idea. I'm hoping that's the case. If we can't get all 5, I personally like the idea of of there maybe being a story behind why we can't necessarily have all 5, if that makes sense. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next topic here. And this next topic, I don't want to say we can necessarily fly by it, but we did touch upon this a little bit as of yesterday. As we wind up actually getting ourselves a brand new Beast Morphers trailer and a reveal for the return of when season 2 is going to be dropping. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, season 2 of Beast Morphers, or I should say the second half of season 2 of Beast Morphers, has been officially set for September 19th. The Twitter handle for Power Rangers, the official Twitter handle, did go ahead and drop the brand new teaser along with the official date. So September 9th, every Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern time, which is like 7 o'clock in the morning here for me on Dallas. So I never get the opportunity to watch this show live, to be quite honest with you, because I'm asleep. I'm too old to be. I don't want to say I'm too old, but those 6 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning days, way past me. But we did wind up getting ourselves a brand new trailer. Again, our video for that, if you want to go ahead and watch it, is on our YouTube page. Again, you can find us at APlus Morphinominal, APlus Morphinominal on our YouTube page. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe over there. We definitely talked about it. I want to talk about really some of the footage that we wind up seeing in here. It's great to see brand new footage. I love this Beast Morphers cast. Anytime Devin says it's Morphin time, gets me pumped, to be honest with you. But I really love what we saw. We get to see some Dino crossover footage, also a returning Goldar with the upgraded suit as well. And then on top of that, we see the return of Sledge, which I'm actually becoming a little bit more fond of Sledge, maybe not necessarily as a character, but maybe just how like they're utilizing him. The idea of kind of connecting him to so many series, if you will, name dropping him certainly from time to time. It's pretty, I don't want to say impressive, but it does strike me just how Sledge has certainly stayed around all this time. I mean, I guess if you're a villain in a Dino series, your job is secure. Your job is secure. They plan on bringing you back at some particular point in time. We also did get to see the reveal of the Beast X King Ultrazord, which we did see already in Boxed In. But if you guys recall, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Boxed In was like the 20th or 21st episode of the season. So I don't know if they meant to originally showcase it later. Because in the trailer, they kind of highlight it as in like it's a brand new Zord, something that you've never seen before. You know what I mean? But we certainly have at the end of the day. We also get to see potentially the villain for the Dino crossover, this big like purple looking monster with like all these arms and stuff. Dark Sky, we've got Austin as Jason, completely morphed. Some huge explosions. We get the opportunity also to see a massive roll call, which honestly, the more and more I see this roll call, to be honest with you guys, the more and more I'm really scratching my head in pure confusion as to where are the Beast Morphers. Like where's the cast? Like I don't see them in that lineup at all. And it's kind of making me wonder, because I thought I read this somewhere, whether it be like a rumor or a theory, that somebody was mentioning the idea that maybe the Beast Morphers take over the abilities of like Dino Fury. Not Dino Fury, excuse me, Dino Thunder. I mean, listen, the color scheme is exactly the same. Red, blue, yellow, right? I mean, granted, we would be excluding Steel and Nate, but when it comes to the main group, the main core, the colors certainly line up. I mean, would it be blasphemous to have a Dino Thunder team there without the actual cast, but having another team rock their costumes? I don't really know. But I'm telling you, the more and more I see these trailers and I see the lack of Beast Morpher costumes in the trailers and some of the photos, it makes me think that maybe what I read a while back actually held up and was true, or what somebody had told me might have ended up being true. Because I'm starting to think that maybe it's Devin, Ravi, and Zoe in those costumes. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out when the series actually starts. Because the only team that I recall, especially in the trailer, that we even see being brought into this dimension is the Dino Charge team. They're the ones that constantly are showcased coming out the portal. I've yet to see a trailer or a scene showcasing the same thing happening with the Dino Thunder team. So I don't know. I don't know, but I'm super intrigued, and I have a feeling that this is going to blow me away, to be quite honest with you. But I'm kind of curious to know your guys' thoughts. If you have watched the Beast Morphers trailer that did go ahead and drop, what did you think of it? Was there any particular scenes or moments that jumped out at you that you really enjoy and are looking forward to? Again, I think one of the things that I talked about when I did the video yesterday for this particular announcement for National Power Rangers Day was the idea that I feel like I'm the last person on the face of this planet that is yet to watch these episodes. I'm really going in there as completely blind as possible. So for me, my anxiety level is like up to here, and I cannot wait to certainly tackle these. I mean, we got September 19th, right around the corner here within the next 2 or 3 weeks. Well, I guess more like 3 weeks or so. But I'm excited, to combine this story with Dino Fury a little bit, because somebody did say, talking about did the Dino Fury cast get announced? No. There was speculation going on online and Twitter that perhaps because of the fact that it was National Power Rangers Day, Hasbro and Nickelodeon, they're going to announce it, right? They've got to. It's National Power Rangers Day. What other day you're going to give us big announcements on? So people on the internet's definitely got themselves kind of turned up, kind of exciting and anticipating something that was never guaranteed to us. So if anybody is mad at Hasbro and Nickelodeon for not making the announcement, let's not be mad at them. We honestly shouldn't throw dirt their way or our own personal crap at them whatsoever. We're not monkeys in cages, all right? So let's act like we have some damn common sense. Like Hasbro never came out and said they were going to announce Dino Fury on National Power Rangers Day. So that's an expectation that us as fans certainly had for the brand that was definitely unfair of them. So just because you didn't get the announcement or certain people didn't get the announcement that they want doesn't make Hasbro the bad guy at the end of the day. It just means your expectations are maybe a little bit too high. Thus why we shouldn't have any. And granted, listen, it's hard. I have my own expectations, right? I have things I certainly want to see, but we can't hold these companies to our own expectations, okay? So unfortunately, we did not get ourselves a Dino Fury announcement. And, one of the things that I've been kind of throwing around the idea was that if we are going to get a Dino Fury announcement, maybe it would be towards the end of August. Maybe it would be sort of the beginning part of September. But from a business standpoint, the one thing that I've said from a business standpoint, like if it was me, I would not announce the Dino Fury cast at least until after Beast Morphers has begun airing again, right? Because you want your focus and your momentum to be on what you have left. The idea of wrapping up this particular series, making everybody focus solely on ending this series and enjoying it to their utmost without sort of a secondary distraction, if you will, right? I mean, I feel like for me, I mean, it's bound to happen, right? But I think you want to keep that momentum going into Beast Morphers, even if people have already sort of seen the stuff that was aired overseas. So if it's me, I don't reveal the cast until after September 19th, whether that be a week afterwards. I believe Power Morphicon, I believe, was supposed to be in August. I'm sorry, in September, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can pull this up again. Power Morphicon 2020. Let me see if it gives me the actual dates that it was supposed to be on. something tells me it was like September, because a part of me was thinking maybe they would announce it during the Power Morphicon time. If anything, if not during that Power Morphicon time, whenever it was supposed to release, then I definitely see after Beast Morphers at least has its first episode out or a second episode out. And again, maybe, who knows, maybe this licensing thing that Hasbro certainly has going on in October, the festival of licensing or whatever the case may be, maybe it's an announcement that they wind up making at this festival come October. So we do have other opportunities here, ladies and gentlemen. And when Hasbro's ready to go ahead and announce things, they certainly will, right? I mean, we are living in a crazy time with the pandemic. Schedules, as we're probably used to getting things revealed to us, probably are going to be changing, right? We do have a new guard in town in Hasbro that owns this property. So they probably want to go about doing things a little bit differently. So when Hasbro's ready to announce it, they definitely will. And I don't mean ready in the sense of, they don't have their cast. I'm pretty confident that they already know who their Power Rangers are certainly going to be at this particular point in time. I think if anything, it's just a matter of, just timing. And with everything that's going on with the pandemic, them trying to make sure that they will be able to continue to film come this October or September, whatever the case may be. They want to make sure that they have everybody certainly in place so they can go ahead and do it. Like, wouldn't that suck if you announced the Dino Fury cast and then next thing you know, it's like, New Zealand's been shut down, can't film for another 2 weeks or even longer than that, and then you've just kind of ruined all your momentum, sort of thing. So I think it's really strategic. So let's just be patient, guys. I know as fans, we want our stuff now, but let's certainly be patient in regards to that. They definitely will announce it whenever they can, but I think the main focus for them right now is Power Rangers Beast Morphers, set to return September 19th. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. The last person on the planet to have seen it, and I still cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys. That does it for some of those particular articles. I do want to go ahead and start jumping into some reviews for some comic books. We'll try and be brief with these because we do have a couple extra topics that we're going to be talking about also. But one of the topics, actually, let me jump into this comment section. Let me see what some of you guys are saying here. Sarav, what's up, Sarav? Appreciate you coming through. You said the better pick would be Dino Charge if we are to tie it all in, as Dino Charge has a lot more in common with Real Soldier than Mighty Morphin or Dino Thunder. Good points. Good points. But when it comes to adaptation, you can adapt any story to kind of fit whatever you certainly need it to. Super not ultra. What's up, not ultra? Coming through from Twitch. I appreciate it. He says, after all, they are adapting a Kiramager movie, not a Go Busters movie. That would explain the lack of Beast Morphers. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I totally get that. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to work their way around it, right? Like, because it is a Kiramager movie, are we still going to see the Beast Morphers suits in there? Have they somehow utilized that footage to put the Go Buster characters into the Dino Thunder costumes? You know what I mean? So definitely some workarounds, but I definitely understand what you're saying as to why there's a lack of Beast Morphers. I'm just kind of curious to see how they've implemented that change with our Beast Morphers characters. Naal just says that the fandom needs to calm down, in my opinion. Just let Hasbro reveal stuff when they want to. Be patient. Yeah, I absolutely agree with you there, man. I absolutely agree with you there, Not Ultra. Patience is key, my young Padawans. But let's go ahead and jump into some Boom Studios comic book talk, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and tackle some of these. Last week, if I'm not mistaken, we did not have an episode of APlus Morphinominal. So we did miss out on the opportunity to talk a little bit about one of the comic books that was in fact revealed to us in Drakkon. New Dawn #1 was in fact released here. We had the Ranger Slayer one shot a couple weeks back that showcased the situation for Ranger Slayer Kimberly Hart, and her new position sort of in this coinless world. Now that Lord Drakkon has been vanquished, he's been removed. Now we've got Ranger Slayer sort of sitting on the throne in a position of power, one that she clearly feels very uncomfortable with, certainly wasn't looking to do this particular job. But every once in a while, sometimes you need a figurehead, right? Sometimes you need somebody to take that place and just do as best of a job as they certainly can with it. And Kimberly Hart's decided to go ahead and take up this mantle of the ruler, I guess you could say, of this coinless universe, and to try and do her best to change the world that she's in, you know, kind of remove some of that Lord Drakkon influence that's been on so many people. And I think this is a really great start to what is part 1 of a 3-part miniseries here. You know, even though in the Ranger Slayer, while she has sort of taken the mantle and is trying to bring peace to this universe, let's be completely honest here. Not everybody is in accordance with this, right? Not everybody is perfectly okay with this idea, right? Like we were literally just at sort of a civil war fighting amongst ourselves, and now we're supposed to just be okay. You know what I mean? So people necessarily aren't living that well together. Certainly still some pushback in regards to it. But I love this issue to go ahead and showcase how Kimberly Hart at least wants to squash that, how she has to kind of gain the trust of the people, and not just the coinless people who she betrayed, if you will, but now sort of the Drakkonless sentries, if you will. She's really got to gain everybody's trust at the end of the day. And I love the lengths that she certainly goes to in this issue. The opportunity here to go ahead and take down one of Lord Drakkon's prisons that people are extremely fearful of. Nobody knows exactly what's in there, but we do come to find that Ranger Slayer does find something rather revealing. I don't know who this character is. It's definitely a man of mystery. It definitely gives me vibes of like Man in the Iron Mask, if you will. I don't remember if you guys recall that book or even the movies. But the idea of this guy being trapped in this prison, in this cell, with a mask over his face. Nobody knows who this person is, but they're of extreme importance to their captor. And this person's captor was Lord Drakkon. The flashback sequences in this issue are incredible, as we get an interrogation from Ranger Slayer to this particular character who seemingly is encased entirely in some sort of like steel or iron sort of Power Rangers suit, almost like it's a suit over a suit that's encompassing them, that's keeping them locked in, or maybe just some sort of steel suit that was forged just to keep this particular person trapped inside. But the flashback use to kind of show just how long this person has been trapped and imprisoned, what I thought was incredible. Clearly, even before, say, the Shatter Grid storyline wind up happening. So that was really appealing to me. They didn't actually come out and reveal who this person is, but I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of this miniseries, we definitely have ourselves our answer. So I don't know who it could be. I really don't. I mean, they talk about the idea of their ideals being on sort of complete opposite sides of the spectrum, but I don't really know if that's a clue to anything as to who it could be outside of just somebody that's opposes everything that Lord Drakkon sort of stands for. But it seems like it's quite personal. The person seems extremely bright, extremely brilliant. The idea of Lord Drakkon sort of picking their brain to find out how they would go ahead and take Lord Drakkon down if given the opportunity. So he's definitely picking his brain. This person that he's talking to has been in the field before, seemingly having been a leader, maybe somebody that comes up with these sort of, you know, the game plans or pushes their team in the right direction. So I will be fascinated to see who that character is, but I'm really enjoying this tour in the coinless universe. One of my favorite characters coming out of this so far has been Scorpina. I've loved some of the snide remarks that she has. Just this character that's kind of on the fence. She's evil, but she's doing her best to kind of cooperate, right? Kind of be just right on the edge of that fence. Her relationship that's kind of brewing with Adam is fascinating to me. And I don't mean relationship as in like emotionally, but just some of their dialogue back and forth has me curious as to where it's going to go. So I thought they did a really great job in here when it comes to just the writing. I was actually kind of blown away about some of just the deep cuts that they focus on in here. The idea of the sentries and the coinless civilians trying to live amongst each other, right? Like it's not something that's going to happen overnight, right? It kind of reminds me of like I don't even know what to make the comparison to, honestly, but just the idea of like two factions, two groups of people not comfortable, but we have to be accepting of them, right? So the idea of like maybe like during the civil rights movement, maybe, right, when it comes to that type of thing, the idea of like they have rights, the slavery movement, even the idea of like you're free and you're living amongst us, but we clearly like just don't like you. You know what I mean? So it definitely kind of speaks to that core element of it, and to see kind of Kimberly Hart as sort of that focus that has to sort of bring everybody together and do the right actions to gain faith from everybody that we're all in this together, I think is really telling for the character. And I think just really amazing writing that they wind up having in this episode, in this particular issue. So if you guys have not checked it out, please go ahead and do so. I think checking out Ranger Slayer one shot and then following that up here with this Drakkon New Dawn, I think is a great sort of two-part story to go ahead and dive into, guys. So go ahead and check your local comic book store, see if they certainly have it. If not, you can get your copy on Comixology.com. They do go ahead and do some fantastic digital comics, whether you're on your computer, a laptop, tablet, or your phone. I definitely recommend you guys check out Comixology if you can't get to your local comic book store. But if you can, please support your local comic book store, ladies and gentlemen. But if you guys have had the opportunity in reading Drakkon New Dawn issue number 1, definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below. The next Boom Studios comic that we have to talk about, the brand new Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue number 53 that just dropped this week. This is a brand new comic, dropped on Wednesday. I myself personally did not get the opportunity to go to my local comic book store this week, so I did go ahead and download it digitally on Comixology. Let me see if I can actually pull this up for you guys. If you're not even familiar with how this works, can I even get back to this? Come on, Adam. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. So I like to watch these on my phone. So I like to do these on my phone. And the cool thing about it is you get to like slide, it turns the page for you, and then it'll go directly to the next panels. The next panels for you if you want to. And you can just read along the way. I think it's pretty incredible stuff, guys. So if you get the opportunity to check it out, please go ahead and do so. But for me, this was an issue I was really looking forward to, especially ever since they announced the Dark Rangers, or I should say the new Dark Rangers here, created by Lord Zed for our group of Rangers. I always thought that the designs were just incredible, just so impressive. I mean, you want to talk about a huge upgrade from the original Dark Rangers from our MMPR season that we wind up having to this. Yes, definitely an upgrade. But I love just seeing Lord Zed's ferociousness. The idea that even though Rita isn't around during this time, if I'm not mistaken, Finster does manage to sort of create another Rita. I don't necessarily know if it's completely made out of putty, considering the fact that this Rita seems to have some really formidable fighting experience, some powers under her belt. Also, I am kind of curious if there's like an amalgamation of like certain creatures or whatever Finster wind up doing to kind of create this Rita. I think is incredible. First and foremost, shout out to Ryan Parrott for once again being an incredible writer, but Moises Hidalgo, man. Moises Hidalgo, the artist of this, and I've said this before, I am just getting more and more impressed with his run in this series. One of the things that we talk about all the time that I praise him for is the civilian mode aspect of things, right? You can tell who these Rangers are. He gives them all their own unique personality, their own unique style. You know who each person is. And I think he just has a great attention to detail, especially in civilian mode. For me, though, I feel like this is one of the, I don't want to say few, because I think I've only seen his stuff in like 2 or 3 issues so far. This is probably the most impressive stuff that I've seen from him in regards to like just dynamic fighting from our Power Rangers, like just drawing them in their Power Ranger mode. The action pieces in here are incredible. Getting the opportunity to see the Dark Rangers facing off against our particular team, just the high energy that some things that you would expect from like somebody like a Daniel De Niculo to be able to bring in regards to his intensity and just that kinetic energy on a page. Moises Hidalgo is really doing that in here. There's some amazing shots, some amazing splash pages also in here of seeing our Rangers face off against the Dark Rangers. So big props to Moises Hidalgo for just upping his game. And, for people that thought there might be like a drop off after Daniel De Niculo winds up leaving, as much as I love the guy and I love everything that he's working on, the shout out to his comic book Secret 7, if I'm not mistaken. Check it out when you get a chance. Moises Hidalgo has definitely come into this season, put his own stamp on this series. I don't know how long he's going to be sticking around, or if he's only going to be doing just the issues that kind of branch Necessary Evil over into our new comic books come November. But I think he's doing a marvelous job so far as the artist on this series. So definitely check this out, because I do think that you guys will be impressed. Just getting the opportunity to see some of the designs. I mean, Goldar looks as ferocious as ever. Squat looks incredible also. Babu, I mean, the fact that we even have Adam in here as the Black Ranger calling him Spider Monkey, I thought was brilliant. I forgot that Adam absolutely hates spiders, but he's the one that gets to face off against him here, and I just love the reference of the Spider Monkey. For some reason, I immediately jumped to Spider-Man Far From Home when I read that when he called him Spider Monkey. So what did he call him, a Spider Monkey, or was it like Night Monkey or something like that? I can't remember what it was. But yeah, that's, for some reason, that's what it took me back to. When it comes to the story aspect of things in here, I think Ryan Parrott knocks it out of the park yet again. One of the standout moments in this issue for me has to be just the Grace Sterling and the Billy stuff. We do know that Billy has loved working with Promethea. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he wanted to actually join Promethea at one particular point in time, but before deciding against it. But him and Grace are in fact working on things. That Psycho Green Dagger now powering up the green coin as well. And you can immediately see just the distrust, I should say, that she has in somebody like Zordon, right? Like, Billy's so set to go ahead and reveal all this information to Zordon and celebrate the idea that they've powered up the green power coin now. Now we just have to decide who's going to be the person to kind of wield it, sort of thing. And we've got somebody like a Grace Sterling that's like, pump your brakes a little bit, Billy, right? Pump your brakes a little bit. As wise as you think Zordon is, Zordon doesn't always make the greatest decisions in the world, right? Can we revisit the 1960s Mighty Morphin Power Ranger team that Zordon tried to go ahead and establish, that Grace Sterling is still feeling effects of to this day, right? Like, the idea of decisions like that sort of put Grace Sterling in this position for why she creates something like a Promethea in the first place, why she maybe wants to keep some of these secrets to herself. But I love how Ryan Parrott is just forming all this and forming that tension and really leaving us with a gigantic question of, who's going to be the next Green Ranger. One of the that's one of the questions that we have now that we've seen what the future holds with Mighty Morphin #1 and Power Rangers #1 set to go ahead and debut in November. We have seen that there is a brand new Ranger there. Grace throws out the idea of perhaps Drakkon could pick up that mantle. Billy, on the other hand, certainly has other ideas in mind as well. So we'll see who winds up becoming the Ranger. Would I want to see Lord Drakkon as the Green Ranger? I mean, to be honest with you, yeah, I probably would. It could be Matt. I've heard the idea and the concept of Matt thrown around, I believe from Nightmare 10 on Twitter or the Power Scoop. As far as like theories go, I could easily see Matt. I think Ryan Parrott has said like it's somebody that but you don't expect, or you expect but you don't expect. I don't know. So those are definitely my two options, Matt or Lord Drakkon. I think for me, my issue that I would have with Lord Drakkon being the new Green Ranger is I don't necessarily know if I want a redemption story for him. As much as I'm a fan of redemption arcs, if you guys know me, you guys know I love a great redemption story. I just don't know if that's the character that I want to have one right now. I kind of like the unhinged Lord Drakkon, the been through so much ish kind of mental instability sort of Lord Drakkon that wants to poke and prod at each particular ranger. I think it would be an interesting dynamic to add to the team. Some distrust, some undecisiveness about the person that has your back. I don't know. I think it could work, but I think it could be detrimental as well. So we'll see what happens. But I did love the Grace Sterling and Billy stuff here this week for sure. But guys, I definitely want to know your thoughts. I'm excited to certainly see where this goes. We also wind up getting ourselves a reveal that the Dark Rangers have Zords of their own, if you will. Let me see if I can remember what they named them. It was on the very last page. The Terror Zords. That's right. The Terror Zords are in fact here. I thought it was a great full splash page showing all these creatures and things like that. They don't necessarily look like Zords. They look like legit creatures. So I am curious to see if they even combine or if they're just going to be their own individual Zords, and how they're kind of utilized there as well. But this should be a really great storyline, guys. This should be a really great storyline. So if you're looking to go ahead and sink your teeth into a Power Ranger story arc right now, this Dark Ranger one for MMPR, definitely want to go ahead and jump on board, ladies and gentlemen. And again, the one thing that we've talked about is if you are tempted to get into Power Ranger comic books because you've heard so many good things about it, but you've kind of been on the fence and haven't explored it, maybe a great opportunity is certainly right around the corner for you. Maybe the idea of coming in between as a bridge to build that gap to what we have in the future, and then jumping off with Mighty Morphin 1 and Power Ranger 1 might be a great opportunity for you guys. So think about it. But I definitely would recommend it. I think Boom Studios is doing a fantastic job over there, and Hasbro clearly trusts them with what they've been able to do. Let's see here. But that'll definitely wrap it up, guys, in regards to the comic book stuff for you guys as well. So definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in regards to Drakkon New Dawn #1 and Mighty Morphin Power Rangers #53. Let's see here. Let me go ahead and get this other article up and ready for you guys here. The one thing right now that's gaining a lot of traction, guys, is virtual conventions. Because of the pandemic, unfortunately, we've had to say farewell to a lot of conventions, man. The epicenter where all of our fandoms just sort of merge, and all of the fans just kind of come together and just love on each other and just give praise to their fandoms and these franchises that they love. We've really have lost out on a ton of conventions this year, unfortunately. But people are doing their best to at least provide us with virtual conventions. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con had one, Comic-Con from home. Whether or not you looked at that as a success, who certainly knows? We recently had DC Fandom, which dished out a ton of information for us, which is only did one day, but we do have a second day coming up here in like 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And one of the conventions that unfortunately was taken away from us, Power Morphicon, is no more as of right now. So Power Ranger fans feel a little bit alone, I guess you can say, in regards to their conventions not being able to go out whatsoever. But we might have a solution, ladies and gentlemen. We might have a solution. This comes to us from tokunation.com. I've also seen this on the Illuminerdi as well. Because this really is from the Illuminerdi, if you will. But this article comes to us saying the Viewing Globe, Power Rangers online fan experience set to take place Labor Day weekend, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Labor Day weekend. The Viewing Globe. This says today's geek culture has taken a serious hit thanks to the global pandemic caused by COVID-19. We've seen the staples in the convention world shut down, with the shift to offering only a spattering of the content we're used to, sometimes behind a paywall. Power Ranger fans will no doubt know that both Power Morphicon and Ranger Stop were forced to postpone their shows until next year at the earliest. There's no guaranteeing conventions will ever resume like they used to. It says Toku Nation is proud to announce our participation with the Viewing Globe, a Power Ranger online fan experience for this Labor Day weekend, September 4th through September 6th. This is a free convention created by fans of Power Rangers and tokusatsu in general. The first guest announcements are as follows. Jason David Frank will certainly be there. And right now they've got members of the cast of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And then they said they got a whole press release and things like that. It does say here on further, it says content creators and Power Ranger fans come together for the Viewing Globe, an online Power Ranger experience. This is the actual press release itself. It's the event is 100% free and will be streamed via YouTube starting Friday, September 4th through Sunday. The entirety of the online fan experience will stream via the Illuminerdi's YouTube channel. And then it also has the Illuminerdi website if you want to go ahead and check that out as well. So every day leading up to the premiere of the Viewing Globe, we will announce more Power Rangers and content creator guests and contributors. So there you go, guys. As of right now, the contributors that they have, the Illuminerdi, Toku Nation, PowerRanger.com, or Per Ranger, however you want to pronounce it, Ranger Command Power Hour, Arlim, the Morphing Network, George Jr., and more. So yeah, guys, it looks as though Power Ranger fans, Power Rangers in general, and if you're a content creator, you may get the opportunity to be on this panel and in a part of this particular convention. So big things are certainly happening, guys. Even though we don't necessarily have ourselves a Power Morphicon or a Ranger Stop, for me, I love the opportunity to see people taking movement and actually doing something for the fans here. So shout out to Illuminerdi, shout out to Toku Nation for certainly putting this together. I'm pretty sure that here in time, the fan list will certainly continue to grow. So I am looking forward to kind of seeing who else is going to be a part of that. To be honest with you, I honestly would love to be a part of this. Nobody's actually reached out to me to try and be a part of it, but I always kind of look at myself when it comes to this realm like a needle in the haystack. Like there's just so many content creators out there that I'm pretty much just like a nobody when it comes to like half these names, to be quite honest with you. So you know, I think also one of the downsides, I think maybe for our channel has always been maybe our channel name. APlus Opinions, you know, the idea that when you come to our channel, you may not necessarily know that we focus on Power Rangers unless you kind of take a deep dive through our channel. Whereas, you know, when you look at some of these other content creators, and the concepts and the idea of Power Rangers are literally in the titles sort of their names. So, it's a lot more recognizable people for sure. A lot of these content creators have been in this Power Ranger realm for years, even longer than even I myself. So I'm glad of the fact that we've got some really knowledgeable people here that are going to be putting together some amazing content. I will be interested to see what type of panels they come up with. Are we going to get like different team panels? They talked about the idea of members of the Beast Morphers cast. I'm wondering if it's going to be like Zoom or Zoom panels where you just had everybody's face on their webcam sort of thing and going through these kind of virtual conventions. So we'll see how big this goes. I mean, what is this? This is supposed to be like next weekend. This convention is supposed to be happening. I'm pretty sure they probably already have all their people lined up. So I think if you're going to be a part of this, you probably already know you're going to be a part of this, whether that be content creators or Power Ranger fans, or Power Rangers. I just think probably I wouldn't be surprised if like each day this week or every couple of days this week, if they start announcing more and more people that are certainly going to be participating in this, because I will be interested to see if, one, is it going to be live? Is it going to be something that's let me see if I don't believe. Let me see if I can go back to that article. I don't believe I read anything about it being live. It says it will be streamed, so I guess so. So we'll see what happens here, man. We'll see what happens here. But listen, if you were hoping for some panels, if you were hoping for getting an opportunity to hear some Power Rangers talk and give you some juicy details and information, the viewing globe certainly is here. So again, that's going to be September 4th through the 6th. So that's Labor Day weekend. That's next weekend, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be streaming on the Illuminerdi YouTube channel. But make no mistake, it's definitely brought to you by Illuminerdi and Toku Nation. So I'm kind of curious to know, guys. Listen, if you had your choice, are there any content creators from Power Rangers that you personally would like to see on here? I believe I saw Esty mention that he was going to be a part of it also. So are there any content creators out there that you guys watch that you certainly would like to see a part of this? Is there any cast members or any groups of Power Rangers you definitely would like to see highlighted in this? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. So I love when people do stuff like that for the fans. While Comic-Con at home wasn't the biggest thing in the world, I thought it was cool that they at least provided us with some content. And in today's day and age, where our content's going to be delivered to us differently, certainly going forward, I love the fact that they're doing some sort of workarounds and still trying to give the fans that they want to. So let's cross our fingers and see how successful this is going to be. I feel like a lot of conventions these days have attempted to do things like this and have gotten better each and every time, if you will. So we'll see if the Illuminerdi has taken any tips and tricks from some of these other conventions that have happened this past year virtually, and seeing just what type of presentation they can certainly give us. Is it going to be all over the place? Is it going to feel unorganized? Who certainly knows? But let's certainly keep our fingers crossed. They got some great sponsors behind them also. So maybe they'll be able to pull this off. But regardless, I'm excited to certainly see what they have in store for us, certainly going forward. All right, guys. And then really, our last topic for the day, let me see if I can go ahead and bring up this article too on mine, because I might have to read off of here as we showcase you guys some things also. We're going to get into some Kiramager talk real quick, guys. We'll wrap up all of our topics here with Kiramager, last but not least, because, guys, we're in our 20 episodes. We're into our 20s now officially. Last week's episode was just okay for me. Enjoyable, don't get me wrong, but as far as like impactful, probably not so much. But I definitely had an enjoyable time watching it, getting the opportunity to see Juru's growth. I wasn't the biggest fan of his girl Kirahara. I can't remember even her name off the top of my head right now, honestly. she wasn't the most impressive, rather annoying. Really just goes to show you what type of person that she is. But leave it up to somebody like Juro to go ahead and inspire someone to change and be a better person, right? But now going into this upcoming week, guys, I think we're going to have even a more concrete storylines, more impactful storylines for sure. And we actually have ourselves some brand new scans, guys. Some new things certainly are coming to us from Kiramager. And let's go ahead and jump into this. This is from tokunation.com, revealing to us Mashin Sentai Kiramager, Mashin Sentai Kiramager Go Kiramager form officially revealed. It says a new round of Super Sentai magazine scans have begun circulating the internet, offering fans a quick look at the future adventures of Mashin Sentai Kiramager. The Kiramagers will be adding a new weapon to their arsenal, the Kiraful Go Arrow. The Kiraful Go Arrow. I kind of like that name. This blue bow is initially wielded by Kirame Red and is capable of many powerful attacks. The Kiraful Go Arrow can be used to summon a new mecha known as the Grateful Phoenix, but sadly, this mecha remains unrevealed at this particular point in time. It says when used alongside the other Kiramagers, the Kiraful Go Arrow unlocks its Kiraful Change ability. And activates powerful new armor for the core 5 Kiramagers. The White Phoenix style upgrade greatly enhances the team's abilities. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull up. Oops, hold on a second, guys. There we go. Let's go ahead and pull up some of these articles, some of these pictures here. So we get to see here, this is the bow that they're referring to, the Kiraful Go Arrow. That's the blue bow that you certainly see there, wielded by Kirame Red, capable of powerful attacks, if you will. I do love the bow itself, and you can actually see the upgraded suits on them also. I'm not sure how I feel about like the thick red, like not thick red, the thick white border around some of the designs, but maybe it'll look a little bit different in live action. For some reason, I get like Ghost Sager vibes when I look at these upgrades. This is another shot here of the Kiraful Go Arrow as well. And a better look at just the actual chest plate and the protector that you'll get the opportunity to see. It looks like we actually get to see it a little bit in action with like the special effects showcased here, glowing a little bit. And I also love, if you look at the top left-hand corner here of the image of our Kiramagers, and it looks like a bunch of arrows falling down. I'm wondering if that's how they wind up changing. Like, I wonder if it's an idea of like taking this bow, shooting it up in the air, and then the arrows just come down and like boom into like a henshin form or whatever the case may be. I think it could potentially look rather stellar. And then here's a closer up shots here of Juro and the rest of the team in their brand new modes here. They're Kiraful. Do they even have a name for the Kiramager Go Kiramager, or maybe just a Go Kiramager? I believe that's probably what it's called, the Go Kiramager form. But yeah, I get the opportunity to see a brand new power up, one that it seems as though everybody will certainly be wearing. So I'm also under the impression that maybe anybody can utilize this arrow. So I definitely expect to see other team members outside of Juro maybe utilizing this weapon to help everybody else change also. So I love the idea that it's not necessarily just an exclusive, not like a battleizer or anything like that. It's probably a weapon that I think everybody can certainly utilize at some particular point in time. And actually, it looks like it, because I mean, if you look at the, now that I think about it, looking at it, this photo to the left, when you look at like Cena and Seo and even Tommy Tomo, it looks like they all have that arrow in their hand also. So it looks like anybody can certainly activate it. I'm wondering if does everybody have this arrow, or if it's just him. Let me see if I can see it in any other photos. No, it looks like it's just him. So maybe they're just showcasing what everybody else would certainly look like with it in their hands. So I think that's pretty cool. One of the other magazine scans that they did showcase to us. Now, the article mentions the idea of a Grateful Phoenix, a brand new mecha. This is not that. This is not the Grateful Phoenix. If anything, this is a further showcase of Mashin Zabyun, the upcoming, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's not the King Express, but it's part of the express train line that they utilized here. So this is a closer look up, if you will, of the upcoming mech in Mashin Zabyun, which I'm really, or I guess this is the King Express Zabyun at this point in its full form here. So guys, I definitely want to know your thoughts in regards to this. We've got some power ups finally coming for our Kiramagers. For me, I hope the power ups not only are useful, but that they're utilized in a way to show that they were needed, if you will, right? I feel like there are way too many times where Power Rangers or Super Sentai teams just get power ups just to get power ups, right? I've always liked the idea of our Power Rangers having to upgrade because now the villains are becoming a little bit more formidable. They're becoming a little bit stronger, right? The Rangers aren't finding success as easily or really stumped in regards to overcoming some of their adversaries. So I'm hoping that's why we're getting ourselves this power up. If I had to guess, I would probably assume it's probably created by Juro and his Insparkalization. So I'm assuming that's probably where this new weapon comes from, because leave it up to Juro to just create brand new arsenals for everybody. Honestly, I honestly love that about Juro. But I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited to certainly see where this series definitely takes us, and I just hope that they're implementing this power up because it's needed, not just because of toy sales, if you will. But I'm kind of curious to know, guys, what do you guys think of the upgrades? Do you like the suits? From again, these are simply just scans. I always tell people I personally try not to judge a full costume until I actually see it in person, because the way that it moves live action, the way that the light hits it, the way that sometimes the added special effects work for it, can really kind of change a person's perspective on what they think about a particular costume. Like for me, this kind of reminds me of like when I watched when I saw scans for Caramay Silver. I didn't mind the costume, but there were definitely elements of the costume. I'm like, I'm not sure how I feel about that. So I'm going to hold off my full judgment until I see it in live action. And seeing it in live action, I've really come around to it. I really enjoy the costume. So I'm going to do the same here with this one. Again, I do get some like weird Ghost Sager vibes from this power up. I don't know why per se. There are certain aspects to this that I do enjoy, especially like the design in the middle and behind their chest. Just not sure how I'm feeling about like that thick sort of white border as of yet. It looks a little bit maybe too bulky for me, but we'll see. We'll see what the maneuverability is like. Again, all that stuff that comes with live action performances. But I'm kind of curious to know your guys' thoughts. Are you just completely turned off by these? Are you hopeful that these will look great on screen? Definitely go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the live chat or the comment section box below, ladies and gentlemen. And with that, that will do it for us, ladies and gentlemen, in regards to news article stories that have hit our interwebs this past week for Power Rangers and Super Sentai. I am going to jump over to my Twitter account, though, real quick, because sometimes there are like last minute stories, if you will. Shout out to Gerald Barrett here. Posted, Adam Perez, don't sell your A-plus opinions. Don't sell yourself short, Adam, about people behind PR reaching out to you. I felt like you and a production company of a show I review found me and gave me a gift. Hey, I appreciate that, Gerald. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate that. See, this is why I do this stuff, man. This is why I do this stuff. I'm glad that I'm able to provide content for you guys like this. I really am. I mean, it's just funny to me. I guess I never looked at when I first started doing this. I guess I never thought about the idea of like people coming up to you and like thanking you for things that you do for them, showing their gratefulness at times and being inspirations or just giving you, just acknowledging you, you know what I mean, for the hard work that you do. but I'm glad that you guys at least see it. So thank you very much for you guys' support. Because again, I definitely would not be here without you guys at all. Let's see here. Power Scoop does have, he says, Power Rangers Dino Fury, what we know so far from the summary and production start time to the casting process and more. Let's see what the Power Scoop has here. Trying to see if there's any new additional information. Executive producer, showrunner change showing Simon Bennett, which we've talked about before. Casting process. Oh, we already saw the sides of that also. Definitely go ahead and check out the Power Scoop if you can. I believe they just celebrated like what they say, like 7 years or something like that, maybe 3 years. I can't remember. They definitely let me go ahead and pull this up because they've been a huge supporter of our channel, especially in regards to retweeting our stuff, liking our stuff, commenting on our stuff. So definitely go ahead and show them some love. If you, again, it's on Twitter, the Power Scoop. They have some great insights, some great behind the scenes stuff, guys. So if you want to get caught up on some news, definitely go ahead and showcase your support. If you're also looking for like another home for your tokusatsu stuff, also check out jefusion.com. They another great source as well that I usually go to. I usually go to them, Tokusatsu Network and Toku Nation. Those are like the three main sites that I go to for a lot of my tokusatsu info. So yeah, guys, definitely go ahead and showcase some support to those channels when you get the chance. But guys, let's go ahead and jump. I'm going to jump into the comment section with you guys, since we don't necessarily have a live a community page to go ahead and post like, hey guys, submit your live questions. So let's see what you guys are saying here. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to the top, and we're going to go ahead and break this down all the way down to the bottom. So let's do this. Matthew says, congrats on the new-ish YouTube channel. Yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to be a lot of work, Matthew. I'm trying to reestablish our YouTube page. Again, guys, if you want to go ahead and check out our brand new APlus Morphinominal YouTube page, go ahead and find this APlus Morphinominal, APLUS Morphinominal. You'll definitely see our logo there. So definitely go ahead and check it out as we continue to try and grow our Power Ranger and Super Sentai community. Even though we're not streaming live to there today, don't worry. Later this afternoon, after we wrap up here, I will be uploading this episode to our YouTube page. But yes, guys, we can only grow from you guys as well. So once this video is on YouTube, like, share, comment, definitely. Let's see here. Jessica says, is there a return day for Beast Morphers? And would you like to see a Purple Power Ranger again? So September 19th, ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars. If you're looking for the second half of season 2 of Beast Morphers, September 19th, it will be here 8 o'clock Central Time. Let me just make sure that is correct, right? September 19th is a Saturday. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, September 19th is the return date. Going back to the comic books here, Zachary says, talking about Drakkon, New Dawn, says, I think the man in the iron mask is Jason. We presume that Jason was killed when the coinless universe was explained. I can see him being the one to be tortured. I'm definitely in that range with you, Zachary. Like after all the things that we mentioned, like right, like breaking them down and breaking those particular flashbacks and those sequences down make me think that maybe that is Jason, right? Like you said, we presume that Jason was killed in the coinless world, but who's to say he's not around? The way that Tommy or Lord Drakkon talks to him does feel as though it's two people that have two completely different ideologies, something that we've kind of seen in the comic books already between Jason and Tommy. The idea that they can definitely approach things certainly differently. You know what I mean? Different a mindset. The fact that the person in this iron suit clearly has some sort of training or combat training, right? Can plan out strategies of attack. So definitely formidable, knowledgeable, strong. It could be Jason. It definitely could be Jason. I feel like that's why I'm leaning to. Because the one thing that made me question it was I was like, I'm pretty sure I thought Jason was dead in this universe. But hey, you know what they say? If you haven't seen the body, it didn't happen. So who knows? Maybe Jason is still alive. That's a great pick there, Zachary. And also in regards to some of your content creators, you say you'd love to see myself, Ranger Liz, Japanime, Orange Ranger, Database Ranger. Those are some great suggestions. I would be surprised if Ranger Liz wasn't included in here, honestly, along with Japanime. I'm at least hoping that both of those. Alec recommends me, Andre. Is it Andre Meadows, or is it Andre and Meadows? I'm thinking, when I think of Andre, I think of like black comic nerd, Andre from Hyperforce. So maybe, but I appreciate that, guys. Oh, and you also say Dom's Rider. Yeah, I feel you definitely got to get Dom's Rider in there also. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they wind up announcing things as this week continues, guys, because it's going to be next weekend for sure. Not Ultra says I'm finally glad that we got a full team power up. Last time we got one was for Go Busters. Dang, has it really been that long? Goodness. Yeah, I do like the idea of a team power up. I still hope that we get like an individual one for Juru. Whether or not we would have Kiramager adapted or not to even get sort of a battleizer, who certainly knows. But I'm in agreement with you. I'm kind of glad that we have a full team power up. But I guess it didn't even fall to me that we haven't had one since Go Busters. Trying to go through some of these previous seasons, man, and I can't think of one either. Goodness gracious, that's crazy, not Ultra. Alex says Sayo is a sharpshooter, just as sharp as her surgical cuts. She deserves a chance. Yeah, she definitely does. Along with Tommy Tomo, I would love to see what he can do with that arrow, man. Pinpoint accuracy here. Not Ultras. In regards to the design, he says, I do wish that there was more to the power up than just the chest plate. I can see that. I can see that. Maybe, right? Like maybe some new gloves, maybe some like the arm bands or bracelets, maybe some new boots, maybe some padding or something. I definitely get what you're saying there, not Ultra. It feels a little bit simple, right? But nothing wrong with simple though. Sometimes simple is everything that you need. So but I definitely agree with you there, not Ultra. Zachary says, I'm meh about the power up. It does make them look like Ghost Sager and Magi Ranger. That's a good comparison also with the Magi Ranger. But yeah, I definitely get Ghost Sager vibes when I look at it. Matthew says, I'm excited to see the Kiraful Go arrow. Hope to see it and Mashin Zabun. I'm hoping we get to see Mashin Zabun here within the next couple of episodes, to be honest with you. I'm so ready for it. Some of the magazine scans that they managed, they talked about it, of it being like is even faster than the King Express. I want to see how powerful this thing certainly can be. Yeah, now Ultra says the chest plate design is definitely a Phoenix design, so I'm sure the next mech is a Phoenix. I cannot wait. I've loved some of the Phoenix Zords that we've had. I feel like I'm trying to think of I'm trying to think of how many. I just recall one off the top of my head. Maybe no, I'm thinking at least two. I do tend to like Phoenix designs though. Oh, I think my thing jumped. Oh, okay. Sorry guys, my comment section like jumped on me. I was like, what the heck? Zachary Andrew Meadows is Black Nerd Comedy. I always knew his name as Andre. I guess I never paid attention to his last name. Is that terrible of me? I am terrible with names, guys, but you guys should know that already. But yeah, no, I do love Andre, man. I met him back in 2000, was it 2014? The Power Morphicon that I went to, I got to meet him. Hector from Samurai was there also. We went to when I went, I think it was the Hilton or the Hyatt. I can't remember what hotel was like attached or like right nearby the convention center out in Anaheim. But I remember myself, my friend Kent Brown from the Morphine Network, and his sister Kayla. I remember we were all hanging out one night. And I think we were walking to and from the bar, hanging out in the lounge area. And I remember Hector coming in, taking some photos with people. He was gone, man. Like homeboy had a few drinks already. He was taking some pictures with everybody. I think I might have a picture of it. I'll have to go see if I can find it. I have a picture of me and him next to each other, like looking all goofy, like our fists, like we're gonna punch each other or something like that, like something crazy. I took a picture with Hector, but Andre was there for the convention. I think he was doing like live streaming for some company. I can't remember who it was. Whoever had the toy line at the time. He was doing like live streaming for them. Such a funny guy, man. I'm so glad that Andre has blown up as much as he has from where he started to so many opportunities. I mean, I've seen this guy on red carpets, hosting conventions, hosting panels. I mean, yeah, the guy on Hyperforce. I mean, come on, Andre is incredible. But yeah, never picked up on his last name. But yeah, Black Nerd Comedy, man, definitely one of my inspirations as far as like just starting off. And I've definitely had a few, but he's definitely somebody I certainly used to watch when I first got into this. Not Ultra does say Juro's power still needs to be explained to me. That's probably my biggest complaint with Kiramager right now. I can understand that, right? I think we want a little bit further explanation of how King Orden and Juro are connected. I'm wondering if this is a storyline that's gonna end all the like that's not going to be revealed until the very end. I hope not. I'm hoping that's like a mid-season thing because I really would like to see what that connection is. Is he part of the family? Is he just that special? Like I would just like to have it further explained a little bit deeper, right? Like I get the gist of it, but I feel like I definitely want it to be explained again. Like, is this King Orden just speaking through Juro because he's passed away, or because he's alive and he can, mentally communicate with him psychically or whatever the case may be? Is he reincarnated within Juro? Is Juro feeding off of his power somehow? A ton of questions. So I get your frustration in regards to that. Like, if there is one tidbit of information you would like to see explained a little bit further, it would be that. I mean, we are 20 episodes in, but who knows? Maybe that's part of their plan to wait to reveal it because it's that massive of a twist. But who knows, man? But I hope we get it soon. I would like to see that because I think even if you do reveal that, I still think that there's a plethora of storylines and storylines that you can still tap into even with that piece of information being revealed, right? Like maybe that brings, maybe learning the truth of Juro's connection with King Orden might bring forth further personal feelings from Garza, right? More resentment towards Juro and the rest of these kids, and Taka, who certainly knows, but I definitely get what you're saying there, Not Ultra. L'Oreal says, Phoenixes are my spirit animal, always coming back and to, was a rebirth, right? Like coming from the ashes and creating anew. There's always an element and aspect of Phoenixes I personally have always enjoyed. So yeah, I'm looking really, really forward to that. But yeah, guys, even Laurel wants to know what Juro's connection with Orden certainly is also. So let's keep our fingers crossed, guys. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Again, there's a ton of, I feel like there's still a ton more information when it comes to Kiramager that we have haven't even been privy to. We still have more to learn about the Queen. I have a feeling we'll probably examine that witch a little bit more that wind up putting that spell on Mabushina's Queen. And we're going to be getting really deep into this particular curse also. So yeah, that along with the personal resentment that Garza has towards just his whole entire family, to Orden and Taka. It's a personal family affair, and I'm here for it, guys. I'm here for it. Alex says, I think I'm sure there's going to be an episode on my birthday. Yeah, Alex said his birthday is actually September 20th, guys. September 20th. So if anything, we'll probably celebrate. We'll probably talk about the Kiramager episode that Monday, as long as it drops early. And then yeah, we'll definitely celebrate your birthday a little bit, Alex. I'll make sure I give you a beer, man, just to be just to be ready. But yeah, Alec, if anything, we'll probably be having Hero Report on Sunday, so we'll probably talk to you then also. But guys, I think that's probably going to do it here for all of our live questions and comments today. So guys, thank you so much, man, for certainly joining us again. We do have an APlus Morphinominal YouTube page, guys. So if you want to go ahead and check out our YouTube page and subscribe, please go ahead and do so. Find us at APlus Morphinominal, APlus Morphinominal. Hit that subscribe button along with that bell notification so that when we do drop brand new videos, you will certainly be notified. Again, we are waiting for our live streaming to be enabled. So hopefully starting this upcoming Monday with Kiramager, we'll be able to go ahead and get back into our live streaming, not only on Facebook and Twitch, but YouTube as well, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely go ahead and do so there. And of course, listen, if you want to follow us on social media, we're still here at APlus Opinions, ladies and gentlemen, on our Facebook page, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, Twitch for you gamers also. So until then, guys, I think that's going to do it for us. We will in fact be back tomorrow. We've got APlus Hero Report for your Marvel and DC news. So join us tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Time. There's a new hour change for APlus Hero Report, 11 a.m. Sunday Central Time. So definitely go ahead and join us there for your Marvel and DC news. And of course, we'll see you guys later throughout the rest of the week for Kiramager and another episode of APlus Morphinominal. So until next time, guys, do us a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it APlus. May the power protect you. I'll talk to you later. Bye.